often hear this kind of criticism that the Hindu Dharma believes in karma. Therefore, India is economically backward. Their argument is because the people in India believe in karma, they don't work for success, they don't work for progress, they accept their lot and remain poor and hungry. This is the most unkind criticism is a criticism either leveled against a people without a care to understand their dharma, or with a certain refusal to understand, a certain degree of refusal to understand. Whatever it is the most unkind criticism. The people in Japan believe in karma. The Buddhists believe much more in karma than even Hindus. They are not backward. In China there is Buddhism, they believe in karma. It's not a question of karma is responsible for any economic backwardness. It is obvious, everybody knows its history. India has been, unfortunately, for centuries under foreign rule. India was a selling place. It was a looted country. The industrial progress in the world, we all know, was in these 2 centuries. And the 2 centuries, India was under foreign rule. And before also, it was not totally free. This historical fact, known to all of us, was responsible for India being a selling ground. Only industry that was allowed to thrive in this country was textile. Because to clothe all the people, cotton used to be taken to England and then made into finished products and sent here. It's just not possible. Therefore, textile industry was allowed to thrive, except the merchandise fabrics. And textile industry has been doing well in this country. It has been exporting. It is second to none in the world in the field of textiles. Every other industry, including a pencil and an eraser, well, it was all coming from England. When I grew up, I bought pencil made in England, eraser made in England, ink made in England, pen, Blackbird pen made in England, all made in England. And there were certain products made in Japan coming to India, and they were considered to be cheap. Japan made means cheap. Made in England, good. Made in Germany was the best. It didn't come, so the products didn't come, to this country too much, because made in England was the most popular product. And needle was imported, and safety pins were imported, paper was imported, glass, mirror, all these were imported. Even cards were imported, spring cards, I remember. When they were first introduced, Vono spring cards, they were imported. Jam and so on, they were all imported. Everything was imported. Here the companies, the British companies were having branches here. Hill Elliott and Company, James Wright and Company, all these, Gannon and Dunkerley, Larsen and Toubro, even though they continue now, but they were all foreign companies. Walcott Brothers, a Swiss company. All were foreign companies, full of them. India was a selling ground. There was not one product which was Indian in all this, because there was no Indian company, no license. Later, when it was difficult for them to make railroads, etc., for their products to move, army to move, when they made railroads for making rails, they allowed the Tatas to build a certain, so the steel industry. they started, credit goes to the Tata, to start a steel industry here, a steel plant in Jamshedpur, the first thing to do. One heavy industry. Is only to make just rails. So you can understand why India is industrially backward, economically backward. When in these 2 centuries, every country, free country progressed, India was a selling ground, further progress. They made the products and then send them here so that they can progress. It's historical. Karma is not responsible for it. It is most unkind criticism. The post-war, Second World War, saw many countries, that period, saw many countries becoming free from colonial rules. And in every free country, newly freed country, not free country, freed country, there was coup after coup. Only country where democracy really worked and is working without any coup is India. Why? It is because of Indian genius, the psyche of an Indian is a duty-bound Indian. The Indian does his her duty towards the nation, towards the state, towards the family. Still, that concept of duty rules the heart of every Indian, every Hindu. And therefore, there was no coup here. There were enough reasons for revolution. It is because of karma. Karma gives you a sense of duty. Karma makes you responsible for what you are. Doesn't make you accept your lot. It makes you absorb your lot. It helps you absorb your lot in spite of your effort. In spite of your will and effort and planning. Whatever that comes, it helps you absorb the lot. It serves as a shock absorber. What is there for others? Without karma, how do they absorb the shock? Life is full of unpleasant situations. There is death, there is loss, there is disappointment galore. How does anybody accept a shock? You have to blame God. We don't blame God. We accept We take up responsibility for our lot. We don't blame God or devil or anybody. We accept our lot. Because I might have done something in the past, and therefore, in spite of my efforts, I don't progress, and it helps me absorb the shock. It's not due to complacence or indifference to progress. Let all these European countries lift this visa requirement and see the Hindus who believe in karma, what they do. If they don't have money, they'll swim the Atlantic, reach USA. Because they want to progress. It's not that they accept their lot. Look at the Indian society. Look at these Indian women, men, pushing all these carts, selling small things, buying in the morning in the market, wholesale market for 500 rupees, 1,000 rupees, some kelas, some oranges, some guavas. Push them in these carts, push carts, or carry them in baskets. Go round the town, go round the village, sell in the streets, make 100 rupees, 200 rupees a day. They live their lives. They earn honestly. It's honest living. This is believing in karma. This is doing karma, not believing in karma. Indians live their lives. Indians do their karma and live their lives. They don't have a sanction, religious sanction. To do adharma, they don't have double standards. They don't think that they can commit an offense against people, loot people. They don't believe in that. They have no double standards. What is good to me is good to others. And therefore, they believe in dharma. They earn their livelihood honestly. This is the majority. It's all because of karma. Karma makes you responsible for your action. Make you responsible for your future also. Not only in this life, in the lives to come. Nobody can get away from doing wrong thing. Against anybody. There is no sanction. To commit offense, offense is offense. Whether the other person belongs to this country or any other country, offense is offense. Adharma is adharma. And therefore, they believe in universal dharma. It's amazing it is. How in Indians, without a revolution, live in this country. It's amazing to somebody who doesn't know Hindu dharma. The one who knows Hindu dharma knows exactly what Indian culture is, Indian spiritual culture is. The one who knows that, well, it is the karma makes a person responsible. It's very important for us to know this. It is karma that makes you responsible for what you are. He doesn't pass the buck to anybody. And you do what you need to do and take the result happily and keep going. Maybe vending vegetables, vending fruits, or doing some other small job, whatever. It's honest living. What makes me always wonder about this culture is this sense of responsibility everybody has towards the society, towards the community, towards one's family, and towards oneself. That is the most really inspiring value, and that all stems from karma. Therefore, it is the most unkind criticism, to say the least, against a dharma so well rooted in universal values. In fact, my anguish is that the world over, people of all cultures must necessarily recognize universal values which they don't recognize. I find there are different sets of values. People belonging to one culture, one set of values, and people belonging to another culture, it's a different set of values. This creates disharmony. We need to have universal values. I don't want to get hurt. Nobody on this earth wants to get hurt. And that is the truth. That has to be respected. If people belonging to all cultures respect this one value of ahimsa, which Gandhiji always emphasized, it's in our culture. He emphasized this value in our culture. And what Gandhiji valued is one single value. Universally, people belonging to all cultures should respect. And when they respect, there will be harmony, peace. We want this value to be respected. That's my prayer. That's my dream too. Thank you.